What's good, peeps? Thanks always for passing by the channel. Much appreciated. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. Don't forget as well, please, to smash that like button. It will help the channel a lot, and you can support the channel as well. I do have a Patreon account. The link is in the description. All right, let's do a quick final thoughts video on tonight's big fight between Deontay Wilder and Luis Ortiz. First things first, Deontay Wilder looked amazing on the scales, like in epic condition. I was actually thinking of a heavyweight in recent years that's looked as good as Deontay Wilder, right? No extra muscle, no fat, like just built like a fucking wrecking machine, right? Built like a wrecking machine, like so athletic looking. I can't think of one. AJ's obviously carrying, I think, too much muscle. That's just what I think. Maybe that's just his physique now. I think even if he tried to lose weight, I don't know if he can. I think that's just his physique. Most heavyweights look fat, if I'm honest with you, on the scales. Trying to think. David Haye, when he came up, I think David Haye looked good. Maybe, again, carrying a bit too much muscle because he had to, because he was coming up from cruiserweight, so he probably put on a lot of weight. But David Haye at cruiserweight looked very good. Early Lennox Lewis, maybe. But I can't think of many that look as good as Deontay Wilder did. So, yeah, Deontay Wilder looks in fantastic shape. So does Luis Ortiz. A lot of people are saying things like this is Luis Ortiz's lightest weight. It's not. Luis Ortiz actually did weigh in lighter, I think, around 2014-15. But I do think what they're trying to say is that this is the best he's looked in years, right? So regardless of the weight in terms of on the scales, this is the best he's looked. And I agree, especially when you consider all the jokes about his age. I do think he looks good. Not as good as I thought he would look. There were a few photos going around and it looked like he was going to come in something ridiculous. I think those photos were quite misleading, but he still looks good nonetheless. Prediction-wise, what do you guys think? I've looked on Twitter and a lot of people are saying things like Deontay Wilder early KO, like round 2, round 3. Can't see it. I can't see it. I think we are greatly underestimating how good Luis Ortiz is. And I think Deontay Wilder, who, let's not forget, fought Luis Ortiz back in, 2018, knows this ain't going to be no walk in the park. He remembers how tough that fight was. That was a tough fight. It wasn't just round 7, I think round 8, where people were talking about. Just throughout the fight was tough. He was getting countered a lot. It was getting jabbed, body shots. It was a tough fight for him. So he knows this isn't going to be no walk in the park. So all those predictions about rounds 2, 3, I can't see it. I can't see it. And I guess probably the main reason why I can't see it is because I think Deontay Wilder has respect for Luis Ortiz. So I don't think he's going to go in there sort of all guns swinging, all guns blazing like he did against Dominic Breazeale or against Bermane Stiverne in the second fight. I think he's going to maybe sit on that jab a bit and maybe move around for a couple of rounds until he can figure Luis Ortiz out. And then, obviously, he'll start throwing that big right hand. But I don't think he's going to go in there with reckless abandonment. I think he's actually going to go in there with a game plan. And that game plan could be to take Luis Ortiz into sort of the mid-rounds just to see what Luis Ortiz's engine's like, right? Because Luis Ortiz, I think one criticism of Luis Ortiz from the first Deontay Wilder fight is that he maybe ran out of gas. And I think maybe that's what Deontay Wilder wants to test again, that gas tank. Obviously, Luis Ortiz is a lot older. We know, we hear the jokes, right? So I can't predict it being an early KO. I think Luis Ortiz is going to cause Wilder problems, big problems. Look, I wouldn't be shocked if Luis Ortiz hurt Wilder again properly. I wouldn't be shocked just because he's a southpaw, which is tricky, right? There isn't much southpaw sparring out there. And he can box. He can box and he has power. He has power, so he ticks a few boxes. Again, it's the gas tank for me. Early, though, he's going to be super dangerous. Super dangerous. Just mark my words, I've said this. Luis Ortiz early will be super dangerous. And I don't mean early first round. I mean early like rounds 1 to 5. Rounds 1 to 5 when his punches are super sharp, like they were in the first fight, he is going to be dangerous. I just hope for Deontay Wilder's sake that Deontay Wilder's not overlooked him. Because Deontay Wilder is kind of doing, I think, a bit what Anthony Joshua did in the lead up to AJ Ruiz. When Anthony Joshua was just talking about Wilder and Fury, Wilder and Fury. And Deontay Wilder this week, he's just been talking about AJ Fury, AJ Fury. I hope he's not overlooked the task at hand. In saying all that, I do think he will get the job done just because of that fucking, not just the right hand. He can box a bit, you know, Wilder, but that obviously, that right hand carries something different in it. So I expect him to get the job done a bit earlier than the first fight. So I would go probably rounds 8, 9, maybe. But, and I'll say this again, but I wouldn't be uber shocked if the upset happened. I wouldn't be, because Ortiz is a strange one. And what I mean by that is, I obviously rate Ortiz. I've rated him for the last sort of 4 or 5 years, but the resume says who has he beat? And I get that. Who has he beat? But there is something about Ortiz that makes me think he is dangerous for everyone. Everyone in that top tier of heavyweights, everyone. So wouldn't shock me. And this is why I don't know why Wilder's rolling the dice with Ortiz again. He doesn't have to, right? He could have fought someone else. Doesn't have to roll the dice with Ortiz, especially when he will remember how difficult the first fight was. But I do expect Wilder to get the job done. I'm going rounds 8 or 9. What are you guys thinking? Don't round 1 or 2 me. It's not happening. Honestly, it's not happening. If it does, then obviously might have to fucking cancel the channel. It's not happening. If he ices Ortiz in the first 2 rounds, then fucking hell. I mean, statement. That really is a statement. Ain't happening. He can't do it. He's not. Again, it's just because I don't think he's going to be that reckless. And I think in order for him to sort of just be, I don't know. Nah, he's not icing Ortiz in the first 2 rounds. What do you guys think? Anyway, let me know. All right, Callum Smith, quickly, John Ryder. I'm going Callum Smith points. I'm actually going to go Callum Smith points. I think John Ryder is going to cause him some problems. And he's not going to give him that separation in order to get his shots off. Callum Smith can do good work inside, but so can John Ryder. So I think as much as Callum Smith's the better boxer, the stronger of the two, I think if John Ryder sits on his chest all night, which is probably going to try and do, and doesn't give him that separation, then it's going to be difficult for Callum Smith to get those shots off. Although Callum Smith is very, very good, on the ropes. Very, very good on the ropes in terms of fighting off from the ropes. So Callum Smith points. I'm going to go Callum Smith sort of 8 rounds to 4. I think Ryder could nick a few rounds in. Not even nick, win a few rounds. But we'll see. What do you guys think? Anyway, let me know. Peace.